Right here we're in Game 3 of Archaic versus RevSaroVati at Alberta Beatdown 2 in the losers semifinals. Being held at OverKlocked Gaming, being put on by Edmonton gamers. Definitely want to check out the websites that I've got there up on the stream. And we're going to be here on tQArchaic Altar. We've got RevSaroVati, the blue Protoss. He's going to be at the bottom right position. And in the money spot, we've got tQArchaic.
Now, tQArchaic Altar historically has proved a lot of really awesome games. We've seen MC versus Thorzane. We've seen Thorzane versus Naniwa. And the only thing we can say about that is Archaic does not play like Thorzane in PvT. Archaic favors his mech, slow playing, but the downfall of this tournament is that he's rushed the mech, and you simply can't do that. And now we're just really quick. We're going to see RevSaroVati scouting Archaic first. And this is like one of the unique maps in the map pool where both races have a chance to go Command Center and Nexus first. And that's just going to make us a longer game. And we're going to see who has really the better macro. And I think that's going to be RevSaroVati.
Yeah, the question is, does Archaic secure an early advantage? Whether that be with just a quick Blue Flame Hellion run by or anything like that. And like we were saying before this matchup, on this map there is just a small push that we were saying that both Colossus and tanks can do. Is you just roll up behind this natural expansion and throw down some of your long-range units and then blow up their natural. And if they want to deal with it, then they have to run all the way around through this gauntlet of pain. And, well, Archaic is the one with the advantageous position to do exactly that. And it falls right into his playstyle. He's definitely a player who likes to go for mech, run Hellions all over the map, and just control space with siege tanks. And that's exactly what you need to do with that kind of push. So I'm really curious to see if he's going to do something like that this game or not.
Yeah, we're both seeing both players get one gas. Just by what we've seen, I assume Archaic can do the same mech opening. I don't like that. I'd prefer to see a bio play on this map. It's so wide open. Bio is made for this map. And we're going to see RevSaroVati drop a Cybernex core. And I think RevSaroVati is going to get it, and he's going to go for the one-gate expand. And we're going to see Archaic do this, and he's going to have to slow push his way out to his natural and drop his command center, and RevSaroVati is going to have his expo up way before Archaic does.
Yeah, and Archaic trying to drive this probe out of here, but RevSaroVati's not going to let go that easily. No positioning with that Marine there.
Just note really quick, now this is really cute. He had one worker in the gas, and as soon as Archaic's SCV came in, he threw another one in there. So we are going to be seeing a Nexus coming out of RevSaroVati. And it's going to be up to Archaic to either go Cloak Banshee and really punish this for the late Robo, or he's going to have to take another expansion for himself.
Yeah, and the Cybernetics core is done. He might be able to Chrono Boost the Stalker out if Archaic doesn't actually move out into that natural expansion. He might not see that Nexus at all. I would expect him to move that SCV.
There's something really cute that happened. He started building the second gas when RevSaroVati was scouting, and then he canceled it. So now I would assume, as a Protoss player, Cloak Banshees are coming. I see 2 gas. I don't see Command Center. And here we go. Command Center being dropped by Archaic. And this is like the best positions for this map. We're going to see Archaic be able to take, oh, there's your 3rd base, there's your 4th base, and there's your 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th base. And same thing for Protoss. We don't see one person in a disadvantageous position. And we're going to see a macro game. And I think if Archaic plays it right, macros right, and finally gets upgrades, his mech is going to work really well, but I want to see Bio. Bio is made for this map, and Colossus are made for this map. And from what we've seen from RevSaroVati, he's going to go Colossus. And RevSaroVati is going to have a little bit of advantage just because of that. Yeah,
this is definitely a map where a lack of mobility can cost you games. There's just so much space to completely circumvent anything that's sitting around. Like if you were to throw a few siege tanks up in the middle of the map, then you just walk around them. It's really hard to cover all of the space that you need to do something like that. So having a more mobile army is definitely going to be advantageous. And we can see Archaic now a little bit worried about some early aggression. So he's got an SCV hanging out next to this bunker. There is a probe hanging down back here. He's got a stalker, and he will throw down that forward pylon. If you look back home, he does have 3 warp gates, so he has the ability right now to put a little bit of pressure onto Archaic. And well, he does have siege wall, but only a single siege tank, a single bunker right now. If he spreads these units out really well and maybe tries to find a good angle, he could do a little bit of damage, but I definitely don't expect this to take
No, just now this is the one thing I'll commend Archaic for. This mech style that he's playing with the siege expand shuts this down. Typically, a Protoss does the fast expand, and they put on a lot of pressure against Bio with 3 gates, with some Zealots and Sentry, and you just force field the bunker. But with the siege mode, it completely gets rid of that. And we see RevSaroVati have these units here. And if he gets impatient or just gets stubborn, he could easily lose this game right here. But here we go. We have a lot of Stalkers coming up, but that Siege Tank's just keeping it back.
Yeah, and now SaroVati just trying to pick off whatever units he can. We can see that none of these Stalkers have actually taken, and as I say that, he runs in again. I was going to say that they haven't taken any damage to their hit points, just throwing out a little bit of shields, which will regenerate pretty quickly. He's not a bad choice. He's doing a little bit of extra damage, costing Archaic a little bit of resources, and he's not really giving very much in exchange for it.
And I'm in love with SaroVati. We see Double Forge. We're going to see the same thing as Game 1. We're going to see Charge Lot with Blink into Templar, Dark Templar, High Templar. And he's going to get 4 or 5 bases, and then we're going to see Colossus late game. And that's the way I think PvT needs to be played. If you sit back with Colossus, your army's so fragile. One bad engagement, you lose your Colossus, oh, I'm just going to push and kill you. Versus if you have this like Templar army, you can easily trade and not have to worry, oh my god, if I lose all my units, this one unit, my army's dead, and I'm just going to get rolled over. And it gives him the free to expand. He can put pylons everywhere. Oh, 4 charge lots here while you're pushing me, you have to come back. And that's the one thing with mech, and I want to see SaroVati exploit that as we see 2 more gateways coming up and charge.
Yeah, and that scan, he did manage to catch the Chrono Boosted Twilight Council. We didn't see the 2 gateways going down in the back of his base, but I'm pretty sure he's got a good idea that we're going to see the same thing that we saw in Game 1, I believe. And he's definitely going to have to play it a little bit different. This map, like Testbug, is pretty open throughout the map. So he's going to have to be very careful about his positioning, very careful about how he chooses engagements and how he forces SaroVati to engage into him.
Yeah, I think the one thing I could say that SaroVati is doing wrong, he hasn't expanded. He sees mech. He knows he's going mech, but he's not exploiting what he can, and that's the fact that he has map control. He can move around. He can expand. And that's the thing with mech. Once they get rolling, it doesn't matter how many bases you have. He's going to get 200, and he's going to push across the map, and it's going to be one engagement. And it's up to SaroVati to be like, okay, I have to do this. And if he doesn't, Archaic's going to win, and that's just the way it's going to happen. Unless, of course, it's the human factor, and he suicides his army, or bad control, one bad control group, and hey, the game's over. As we see the Templar Archives being dropped, I want to see Ghost Mech. Scan it and go Ghost. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, Ghost Mech is, I think, the most entertaining form of PvT.
Yeah, it's the future. It's the way you have to play it. You have this like really strong army, and you have the Ghost to counter the tech, and the tech allows you to play against the mech. And that's just the way it has to be. And I got a feeling Archaic's going to ignore it until it's too late, and he's going to see the Templar, and they're going to come out with energy, and it could be bad. But he's getting a lot of Hellions, and that's something Archaic does that a lot of Terrans don't. He has so many blue from Hellions, it doesn't matter what units you have. It eats Zealots, it eats Templar, and it eats Stalkers because he has so many. But the fact is, they do so much more with upgrades, and time again, we've seen Archaic neglect the upgrades.
And we'll have to see if that is his downfall. I think that was one of the main reasons why he lost Game 1, aside from a few bad engagements. And he moved out here. It was a little bit of a risk because he moved out with a pretty large amount of units, and if he wasn't controlling, or if SaroVati was controlling the Zolnaga Tower, then he could have been in the perfect position to actually deal with it. He's got 5 SCVs moving up there, and he's going to make sure that there's nothing actually holding that Zolnaga Tower. This is definitely the right way to execute it. SaroVati now with charge complete, level 2 weapons, level 2 armor, just about to finish. Very nice Blue Flame Hellions. Going to make it very hard for these charge lots to actually engage. Good force fields to make sure that those Blue Flame Hellions can't continue doing a lot of damage. And Storm is still not quite done. Not a lot of Templars in this army. Blue Flame Hellions have the opportunity to do a lot of damage. Very nice job by Archaic to bait all of these units into these siege tanks. Not very many Zealots to actually close the distance on the siege tanks, but the Hellions just don't have that durability that he needs. And
upgrades. The upgrades are coming. You see the Blue Flame Hellions
the run by.
And this could do a lot of damage for Archaic. This is getting him back in the game. Even though we see SaroVati taking his 3rd base. Oh, no, never mind. Nice warp in. Really
very
cute.
nice,
really cute. But again, we're seeing Double Forge Chrono Boosted, and we're seeing Archaic again ignore the armories. And that's going to punish him. And if he keeps ignoring it, great. You deserve to be punished for it.
Yeah, and we're going to see level 1, level 2 weapons is already done. Level 1, level 2 bleh, armor is just about to finish. When you're 2 upgrades behind, you're 20 supply behind, your opponent is just going to be like, well, I just made a timing, I'm going to use it.
Well, he's just going to decide, I'm just going to go kill you now. Your tanks can only do so much, and with the charge lots, it doesn't matter. He's going to close the gap. And we see Blue Flame Hellions running into the 3rd phase of SaroVati. And we're going to have to see how many units he can kill here. Try to get himself some leverage in this game. He's really far behind.
If he shuts down the economy, that's only going to take him so far.
Yeah, he's got 3 Nexuses.
Yeah,
and we see a
he's
big
got
counter push coming up from SaroVati down here. And really, there's 2 siege tanks. There's a little tiny SCV depot wall, but there's an empty bunker with no units in it. And this could be really, really bad for Archaic.
You know, the siege tanks are in siege mode.
Oh, but the Zealots are being clumped into Blue from Hellions.
The Zealots are all going to go down. There's still not much else here, but this army just has so much firepower. You can just brute force right in there, shoot down all of these units, and Archaic does not have the firepower to use.
And here come the SCVs.
That is going to be a GG, I think. The SCV is going to try to take this down.
He's got 1 siege tank. It's going to be close. But really, by now, he's just playing that wrong. Simple as that. He's playing it wrong.
He's got the siege tank is out now. He's going to be able to take down that Archon. The SCV is going to charge.
Got 6 SCVs. This game's over.
And down to 31 supply. 6 SCVs, like you were saying. There's really just no way he can come back from this, especially against an opponent who's on 3 bases. Even if he was able to shut down all of the pros that he has with those Blue Flame Hellions, he just doesn't have the firepower that he needs because of that lack of upgrades, because of that lack of proper positioning. And just so many things combined is going to mean a loss for Archaic here.
I mean, stranger things have happened. Sure, he's got 3 command centers with mules. But really, Blue Flame Hellions can only get you in the battle for so long. He's going to be exposed on 3 Nexuses, and he's going to push back. He's got Blink now, so really the wall's not going to help. He's going to blink onto the siege tanks, and the game's going to end really soon. There's a really big time, and it's going to click, and Archaic's time is up in this tournament.
Yeah, 15 Stalkers on the field right now, and only 11 Hellions and a single tank. That's just not going to be enough to deal with level 3 Stalkers, and a few Storms going to go down as well. Archaic is in a pretty rough position. Stalkers are going to come right into those things. Blue Flame Hellions in this natural transfer are going to do pretty decent amount of damage.
A lot of damage.
The Stalker force is just burning through absolutely everything. Now he's going to shut down the production. He's going to take down all of these add-ons. And
when there's more Stalkers than SCVs, prodiG, game's over.
Yeah, there's the GG. Definitely well played by SaroVati. He definitely deserved that win. And better luck next time to Archaic.